In this video, we're going to learn how to subtract mentally. Okay, so it's a mental math, how to do mental math, and we are talking about a specific operation, subtraction. And it's not really using tricks. So I'm just going to explain how I do subtraction mentally by just structuring the problem. Okay, so the fundamental principle I'm going to continuously use is I will structure the problem, I'll simplify it and then subtract it. Okay, in that way I'll not have to use any tricks, or of course I'll not be using pen and paper, so I'll be doing it mentally without tricks by just structuring the problem. So there are just two essential ways, two common ways to go about subtraction and structure it in a way that we can do it mentally. One is repeated subtraction and the second is subtraction by addition. So I'm going to explain each of these one by one. So let's start with very basic numbers here. So we have two-digit numbers with one-digit numbers. So the one case is if the one-digit number is less than the unit digit of the two-digit number, then it's very straightforward, right? It's just 27 minus 6 is 7 minus 6 is 1, so it's 21, right? That's quite straightforward. So 84, so 4 minus 3 is 1, so it's 81, this is 72. This is quite easy. You don't really need any structuring on anything to really solve this. The problem comes when we have the unit digit, this digit which is being subtracted, bigger than the unit digit of the two-digit number here. Then we have a problem. Some people face problems here. So there are two ways. One is repeated subtraction, which is essentially what you do is you write this as minus 4 minus 5. Essentially, the first component is equal to the unit digit and the second is whatever is remaining. So if you take out 4 from here, whatever is remaining is 5. So now 34 minus 4 is 30 minus 5 is 30 minus 5 is 25. That's how we do it. It's repeated subtraction, right? So it's subtraction then another subtraction. Similarly, 22 minus 2 minus 4, so which is 20 minus 4, which is 16. This is 74 minus 4 minus 4, which is 70 minus 4, which is 66. This is one way. Another is subtraction by addition, which is that you look at it as 34 minus 10 plus 1. Okay, so you take it to the nearest 10 and then since you have added something here, you will need to add it back, right? So you're subtracting something extra, so you'll need to add that. So this becomes 24 plus 1. You might think this is easier. So perhaps in some cases this is going to be easier, in other cases this is going to be easier. So essentially we know two ways. Whatever way is more efficient in a given context, we'll use that. Similarly, this can be written as this. So that becomes 64 plus 2, which is 66. This can be written as 62 minus 10 plus 3, which is 50. 2 plus 3, which is 55. Essentially, we'll be using these two strategies throughout all the different cases here. So now we have two-digit numbers with two-digit numbers. So if the unit digit difference is positive, then it's just we are subtracting individual digits, right? So 7 minus 2 is 5, 4 minus 3 is 1, 6 minus 3 is 3, 9 minus 8 is 1, 9 minus 6 is 3, 7 minus 6 is 1. So this is easy, right? Of course, we are subtracting a smaller number from the bigger number, and if the unit digit difference is positive, then it's just a subtraction of the individual digits. But let's say if the unit digit difference is negative, so basically this whatever is being subtracted is actually bigger than the unit digit here. So again we have two different approaches, which one is repeated subtraction. So you can do 81 minus 11 minus 3. Okay, now 11 is easier to subtract from here, so that becomes 70 minus 3, which is 67. And then 60 minus 21, so you do 60 minus 2 minus 1, 20 minus 1, so this is 40 minus 1, which is 39. So 31 minus 11 minus 6 you can do, which is 20 minus 6, which is 14. Now in this case, we see the unit digit difference is just 1, right? So one is that you can simply do this. You don't need to create a specific case. So this becomes 80 minus 1, which is 79. right? Essentially this is what I'll be doing in my mind. So let's not create a specific case for here. So this becomes 40 minus 1, which is 39. Okay, so in this case what we are doing is we are making a unit digit same, and then whatever is additional we leave it out, right? This is what we are doing here. Or you can do the other way, subtraction by addition, which is that you take it to the nearest multiple of 10 and then you add whatever you had subtracted extra here. So this becomes 45. So 100 minus 8 is 100 minus 10 plus 2, which is 92. 71 minus 28 is 41 plus 2, which is 43. 96 minus 49 is, so 46 plus 1, 47. Okay, so we'll be using these two strategies throughout. So let's now look at 3-digit number with 2-digit number. So here the way I do subtraction is not 1 digit at a time, but I look at these 2 digits in one go. So the case 1 is 2-digit difference is positive. So these two are, so 64 is bigger than 59, 93 is bigger than 77. This is how I'm looking at it. So if this is the case, the hundreds digit remain the same, and whatever difference we get is 64 minus 5 is 5. So this is the answer. So 93 minus 77. This is what I look at. Now this you can do by thinking in terms of 93 minus 80 plus 3, which is 13 plus 3, 16. So it's 116 because 1 will remain there. So again 300 will remain. 47 minus 34 is just 1 and 3. So 313. So this is the case when I'm dealing with 3-digit number with 2-digit number, and the difference is positive. So essentially the hundreds digit remain the same. Now let's say the 2-digit difference is negative, which means that these 2 digits are smaller than these 2 digits. So 39 is smaller than 84. 44 is smaller than 95. Now what do we do in that case? So we want what we can do is we can do repeated subtraction, which is 139. Now that's a complex thing, because if you do minus 39 minus, now what to write here? This is a slightly complex thing, right? So so this is complex. So what you can do is, so in some cases this may work, but in this particular case 39, if you subtract, now what do you write? What is left? So another way is you can try to think what could work here. So repeated subtraction, so you can take this as minus 79 minus 5. Right? This is our choice how we divide it. But let's say now 139 minus 79. So it is 99 is in any case cancelling out. So it's 13 minus 7 is 6, 60 minus 5, which is 55. So you're left with 55. So here 144, you can say minus 94 minus 1. So this I'm talking about repeated subtraction. Of course, I think this is going to work much better in case of subtraction by addition. We'll look at that. But repeated subtraction we're looking at. So 144 minus 94 minus 1. So we are making the unit digit same. So it just becomes 14 minus 9 is 5, which is 50 now. Minus 1, so 49. Similarly, 127 minus 68 is this way. So this becomes 7 cancel out. So 12 minus 6 is 60 minus 1, so 59. So 539 minus 84. So 539 minus again 79 minus 5. So this is 460 minus 5. This is a little complex. 455. Right? So again the numbers are becoming bigger. So essentially you need to just see that it's just 700. We don't really need to worry about 700. So you can take 600 extra here. So 144 minus 95, which is, and you can just worry about this, which is same as 144 minus 94 minus 1, which is 50 minus 1, which is 49, plus 600. So it becomes 649 is the answer. So instead of also worrying about 700 and all that, we can just say, okay, it's let's take 600, which is extra here. 144 minus this. Now subtraction by addition is going to make things easier in some of the contexts. For example, look at this one, 144 minus 95. So it becomes 144 minus 100 plus 5. So this is just 44 plus 5, which is 49. Right? This is easier. So here 127. So if we could take it to 100, then naturally 168. What do we left? So you may be worrying, but we can do this. This is easier. Right, so 127 minus 70 is just 57, right? It's 170 is 30 plus 27, 57 plus 2, which is 59. 147 minus 60 plus 1 is, this is 87. How I am getting this? Basically, I am just subtracting 14 minus 6 is 80. The 7 remains there, so 87 plus 1. 88. You can also do it another way, 147 minus 57 minus 2, which is repeated subtraction. So now you're just 14 minus 5 is 90, right? Minus 2 is 88. Of course you can, right, do it either way. You can also mix things up. So let's look at the 727 minus 79. So you can do this as 727 minus 77 minus 2. So 27 you can take out, so that becomes 700 minus 50 minus 2, which is 650 minus 2, which is 648. This is one way. I think this is a simpler way. Another is that you can take it minus 80 plus 1, which I don't think is going to make things easier. So this is a good way. Then 849 minus 58, you can write it as 60 plus 2. So that becomes 84 minus 6 is, so I'm looking at these two digits at the same time. Right, that's the thing. 84 minus 6 is 78, and then 9 remains, 789 plus 2, which is 791. Okay, so now if you're dealing with three digit numbers, again I look at these two digits at one go. So if the difference is positive, which means 69 is greater than 48, then I just need to subtract 100 from 100, which is 2, and then 69 minus 48 is 21. So again 7 minus 3 is 4, then 79 minus 46 is 33. 5 minus 3, hundredths digit I'm talking about, this is 2. 93 minus 74. Now how do we do 93 minus 74? If you see, this is just 93 minus 73 minus 1, right, which is 20 minus 1, which is 19. This is 290. Now if the two digit difference is negative, so essentially we have these two digits smaller than these two digits, now things are a little complex. So you can do repeated subtraction, which means 348 minus 148 minus 21. So 169, I've broken it down into in a way that the unit digit, the two digits are the same now, and then whatever remains, 21 remains. So this becomes 200 minus 21, which is 180 minus 1, which is 179. Now this one, so again 746 minus 346. Now what remains is, if you take out 46 from here, what remains is 33. So which is 400 minus 33, which is 400 minus 30 is 370 minus 3 is 367. So here 574 minus 374. Now what remains is, if you subtract 374, 300 gone, so 93 minus 74 is 19, right? So 200 minus 19, which is 200 minus 20 is 180 plus 1, 181. So here if you see, the difference is just 4, right? So it's 828 minus 228 minus 4, so essentially it's just 600 minus 4, which is 596. So here the difference is 10, so this is just 174 minus 10, so which is 300 minus 10, which is 290. So again 348. Oh, we have already done, it's just a repetition, so no need that. Now we could also do it subtraction by addition. So the way to do this, that is 348 minus, if you make it the nearest 100, nearest 10, if you make it 170, that's not going to help us a lot. So you try to make it the nearest 100. So how much have you added to make it 200? You've added 31. So add that. So you have 148 plus 31, so this is 179. Okay, so again what you do is 746 minus 400, and you have added 21. So this becomes 346 plus 21, which is 367. So this is very close, so this is much easier. 574 minus 400 plus 7, so which is 174 plus 7, 181. Okay, so this is how you can do subtraction mentally. Of course, I was using pen and paper, but I would be doing this calculation in my mind. So when you structure the problem, then it becomes easier to handle. If you are sort of doing that carry forward and all that, you can't do that in your mind. Okay, so essentially there are just two strategies. One is repeated subtraction and the other is subtraction by addition. And I also told that I look at, whenever I'm dealing with 3-digit numbers, I look at 2 digits in one go. Okay, that's another thing to keep in mind. Yeah, so that's it from my side. Let me know whether this video was helpful, and yeah, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask.